Okay, let me give you a little bit of a background. The reason why the parastatal model in an economy is controversial, okay? Completely controversial. The reason why the parastatal model is a problem, particularly in a country like Zambia, is because, okay, what is the problem with the parastatal model? The government begins competing with the private sector for capital in an economy, all right? I'll give you an example. The government begins competing with the private sector. They begin competing with the private sector for capital in an economy. For example, the Zambian government wants to establish a regional airline, an international airline known as Zambia Airways. All right. At the moment, we already have players in the economy that have invested, private players that have invested in airplanes. There is Proflight and Mahogany too. And I think there is a third one. These are private players, so that they can make a little bit of money. When you, as the government, introduce Zambia Airways, what you are doing is that you are squeezing the smaller private companies out of business. The reason is, Imwe as a government, you have a wider network of borrowing money. You can borrow money locally. You can also borrow money internationally. In the PF manifesto, what they are saying is that they've realized that, just like we have been telling them, that government involvement in business is squeezing out smaller players. That's what we've been telling them from the Chiwempala plan. They've not been listening. Now, suddenly, in their manifesto, they're saying that they are going to do it. Now, here is the problem. They are saying that they are going to do it, and yet, the next day, the president continues perpetuating the parastatal model. Which means, while we know that there is a problem with government involvement in business, it is squeezing out other small players in the economy. And they realize that that's a problem. And they even promise in the manifesto that it's a problem. When it comes to practice, they do exactly the same thing that they are condemning. They perpetuate it. So the IDC, which is the government business entity chaired by the president, including 3 of his ministers, and when they sit as IDC, they are making business decisions, but these business decisions have the potential of crowding out other players in the money market. How does this work? If you are Standard Bank, okay, let's give you an example. You are Standard Bank, and you have 3 people apply for a loan of 1 million kwacha. The first one is the government of the Republic of Zambia. The second one is Mahogany Airlines. And the third one is Proflight Airlines. Who are you going to lend 1 million kwacha? All right? Who are you going to lend that 1 million? You're going to lend it to the government. In fact, you can even increase the rate. And so, because you've already lent money to the government, it means then that Mahogany and Proflight, they have lost out on the opportunity for financing. Let's assume that government wastes that money because government wastes money. That is its job. The government does not keep money properly. The government wastes money. It will still come back tomorrow and borrow some more from the bank, Stanbic Bank or Absa Bank or Barclays Bank or Bank of Milenge. I don't know what names of these banks are. That is the problem. So instead of government being the government that sets policies for the economy, the government actually, under the parastatal model, becomes one of the players. And as long as the government becomes one of the players, it will continue squeezing out the little businesses. So there will be no innovation. There will be no investment. There will be no entrepreneurship. Because the government is not encouraging entrepreneurship. The government is in fact flooding the economy itself with its many false working projects. That is the issue with the Patriotic Front Manifesto. It is not aimed at controlling anything at all. But